And we went in after we got done washing our hands, and she got a piece of candy from grandma, and she wanted to go back over and see her brothers. And I said, okay. And I walked her all the way over to the porch, and I watched her walk into the kitchen where the boys were watching TV. And I told the boys, I said, watch Summer, I'll be back. And within 2 minutes, I came back, and I asked the boys where their sister was, and they said, she went downstairs, Mom, to play with her toys in the playroom. I said, okay. And I yelled downstairs for her a couple times, and I didn't get no answer, which was unusual because usually she always answers me. And so I went down there to check, and she was nowhere in sight. She was just gone. I don't go on.
It was cold. I was going to make a fire. There's a lot of wood in this area right here next to our house. I opened up the back gate. I'm throwing wood, bringing it inside the house. My wife's inside. She was actually wrapping gifts, so we thought it was a good idea that our youngest two would go outside and play with chalk on the back patio. Do not let them go on the dirt in the backyard. Keep them close. They was playing with chalk, and I came in the house. I saw them there. I went in the house. I came back out. I didn't see them there.
He goes through and describes vividly how he's seen them. I saw him do this. I saw them here. When they say what happened, he goes around what he's doing. He goes from chopping wood to bringing it in the house, seeing him playing with chalk and doing all kinds of things. And then he goes in and asks his wife, where has she seen him? Because he's talking about how he saw him and had she seen him. So all this time where he's bringing in wood, he's chopping up wood, doing all these things. It's a whole lot of detail that you don't need, because you would have said, I was out chopping wood, bringing the house, and the next thing I know, they're gone. I don't know where they are. I went and told her, and we started looking. It's very short. You get to the point because you're worried about what's happened, and you want to get that solved. And being solved is finding the kids and knowing they're safe, know where they are. So I think in that situation, I think we're seeing so many things. And he's pretty stiff too, man. He's pretty stiff when he looks around. He's not got a lot of body movement because it's cold out and he's all wrapped up. But let's take a look at his wife. We see no grief on this guy whatsoever, but the entire time, we see the grief muscle on her. You can see it really good when the light hits it right, and you can see it. I can't do it. Greg can do it great, but you can see that little U-shaped thing that your forehead makes when you're feeling grief. There's what it looks like. There it is, Greg. Bring it on.
Okay. From our yard.
Okay. I just wish there was a way that neighbors could search neighbors' houses, and then if they're not willing, get a search warrant or something. But there's just no way you can search every single house, in the eastern United States or whatever. But I wish there was a way.
I really would like to go in the houses, but it's not because I want to invade people's privacy. I just want to know if make sure. That's it. They are going to be here in this area.
But all I know is she's definitely not anywhere around there. I think somebody's abducted her and took her out of the area. Wow.
And I need help. We gotta get going. So I called the cops. Cops came. First thing they did was tell us to stay in the house so they can get a hold of us. And they had us just sitting there, and we wanted to keep searching. But everybody came out in droves, and I wanted to thank you guys that night, but we couldn't go outside.
The cops told us the best are out here.
The best are out here searching, and we appreciate it. And nobody ever we could never talk to anybody, and that was the issue.
We just want to thank everybody.
We really want to thank you guys.
Please, if anybody has seen them, please call, let somebody know.
Call the cops. Call California City Police Department.
But after that, all these trucks and trailers with four-wheelers and stuff started pouring in, and police, and they actually blocked or bottlenecked Beach Creek and Ben Hill Road. You couldn't get out or in or nothing. It was a nightmare.
But did something change when you got out of jail?
The only thing that changed is suddenly I we weren't allowed to contact them.
4 other kids, 2 biological and 2 adopted. The chief of police says these kids are in protective custody.
In Child Protective Services, protective custody means they are placed in a foster home. They are removed from their family that the allegation is of abuse or neglect, and they're placed in a foster home.
Janice Slagle is a spokesperson for the Department of Human Services in Kern County. Her department deals with cases of parental neglect, which ultimately end up in juvenile court.
Every time a child is removed by either law enforcement or CPS, we are involved with the court process for those children.
Frequently, the parents must complete certain tasks aimed at ensuring the children's safety to regain custody.
The parents are given a court-ordered case plan, and if they complete what's asked of them, then they do and can get their children back in their custody.
The parents have around 4 months to complete the tasks. If they don't do a sufficient job, a judge could rule to keep their kids in foster care.
That's where everybody...
Protective order was granted in this case. What does that mean? It means that the judge, Chad A. Louie, granting a criminal protective order, public wasn't allowed into all parts of the hearing, but local media that attended part of the Tuesday hearing reported that the protective order was to prevent the couple, the accused murderers, from contacting their biological and adopted children, the other 4 children. Reports also indicate that the prosecution's motion seeks to stop the parents from talking about the case with the kids or persuading or intimidating them.
Investigation has also revealed that they died 3 months before their adoptive parents reported them missing.
He goes through and describes vividly how he's seen them. I saw him do this. I saw them here. When they say what happened, he goes around what he's doing. He goes from chopping wood to bringing it in the house, seeing them playing with chalk and doing all kinds of things.
Asked my wife, did you see the boys? She said no.
And he had lilts in every one of those stories as he was looking for approval. This is a prepared statement.
I looked down the street, both directions. It was getting dark, getting cold, and I got in the van and I hit a bunch of corners.
We don't, I think, ever see him break from that and start to tell the story. Here's what they look like they're so high, like look out for them.
Every person in this room would be all over these guys because I've not heard a single name mentioned.
What's going on? We're going through it.
This week, the Kern County Grand Jury indicted Trezell and Jacqueline West, the adoptive parents, for the murder of Orrin and Orson West.
Every one of us is going, where's the denial?
Yeah.
The behavior panel.